Hello and welcome back to... Just as I started doing that, the dog got the zoomies through the lounge. I don't know if... I'll do that again because I don't know how much of that you could hear.
I think I liked it.
Oh, well, we can... I mean, we're into the 7th episode now.
Lucky number 7. Mackie's getting involved.
Hey, let them have the reality. And actually, it's a good episode for Mackie to be super involved in because we've got another special guest on this episode too, haven't we, Ron?
Gnocchi the cat.
Gnocchi the cat appears to try and save my bacon. So hello, welcome to... God, I nearly said the National Treasures podcast, and I really am garbage at this today.
For context, Laura woke up 23 minutes ago.
I did.
When I messaged her when we were supposed to be recording.
It's been a really long weekend. I've just had 8 gigs in 3 days. So, yeah, I really didn't set an alarm. I sort of, when you know that you've got to do something, but you make no effort to get it done. I did that. Like, I sort of vaguely remembered that we were recording today, but in no way set an alarm or prepared myself for it.
And you asked for this time.
Yeah. Yes. So welcome to Lexx Education, the podcast where I, a real life fool, learn science from my brother who has it together a lot more than me. Ron, what are you up to today?
Today, I've had a very busy couple of weeks, so today is the first day where I'm just going to do piss all. I'm going to play Minecraft in my pants, and I'm going to eat pasta.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Yeah. If I get all my cleaning done, can we do some Minecraft together?
Yes, we can.
I love Minecraft. We should get back into the one that we've got with the Skyway. We've got a project where I'm building a motorway in the sky that just goes on forever. And you're breeding axolotls?
I've got a dome of axolotls, yeah, but I'm mainly going for a Manhattan kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, you're building skyscrapers now. In my newest one that I'm playing with Tom, I've got a biodome where I made a mud hut like Judith's panic rooms. Judith is sort of bad at Minecraft and just makes small, square, sad buildings out of mud with no windows. Well, I decided to try and make almost like a tubby house, like a dome that is completely blended into the surroundings. So I've hidden it in vines and leaves and flowers. It's very cool. Anyway, enough about how cool we are. Let's do GCSE science together. First of all, as always, we would like to thank PodSpike. We were featured in Pod Bible this week, which maybe that's how you're listening to this episode. You heard us talking on there. So we would never have heard of Pod Bible. No offence, Pod Bible, you're wonderful, but we would never have known to do that if it hadn't been for PodSpike. We literally cannot overemphasize how much they have helped us with the marketing of this podcast. So thank you, PodSpike. And if you are thinking of starting a podcast or you have a podcast and you want to give it a little bit more juice in the tank, then give the wonderful people at PodSpike a bell and say we sent you.
Yes, do that.
Have you been enjoying the puns on the Twitter this week?
I asked last week for everyone to stop doing that, and they've not listened.
I've been really enjoying it.
I refuse to have the fans be better at puns than us.
So we asked this week on Twitter what the sexiest element was. So if you're listening and you want some stupid science jokes, do find us on Twitter. We're on Instagram and TikTok. And speaking of that, thank you, Carol, for your making plasma out of grapes Lexperiment. So this is our second Lexperiment that we've been sent. The first one, punching cornflower, we have filmed a video for that now, so that will be going out at some point on all of the social medias this week. So thank you, Carol, for sending a second one, and we'll get working on that. And then the other thing, Squirrels for Short wants some Lexx Education science knob-based stickers.
Knob facts. Hashtag knob facts.
Hashtag knob facts. Sorry, the dog is going mad in the garden. What's she doing? I think she's trying to hunt something that's not alive. God, she's stupid. I love her so much. Is that the merch you want from Not My Dog? Oh, God, I'm so sorry about this intro, Ron.
That's okay.
You do it.
Knob facts. Do you want more, less, or do you want them in sticker form? Let us know. And I thought that thread was very interesting. I did several lectures at university about knobs.
It's great. We loved it. We loved it, Ron. So there you go. Thank you very much for all of your sharing and love. Please, if you are enjoying us, so distracted by my dog. What is she doing? If you are enjoying us, then please give us a rating, not based on this intro. Give us a rating based on the rest of the content, because I am very aware I've been very distracted. But yeah, rate us, and we love you. And thank you for your tweets and shares and stuff. We are growing every week, and it's very exciting.
Yes, and get ready to leave resultant forces and physics angst in the past as we dive into biology for the third time. First triple episode.
Can you hear her?
Yes, obviously I can hear her.
Such a nightmare. I love her. Okay, enjoy. So, Ron, we're back to biology today.
Your friend and mine, biology.
The best one!
By far the best one.
None of that stinking physics malarkey.
Yeah, although physics has thrown me off, and again, I had no idea sort of like how much to prepare for this. Last episode we got through literally 5 lines of notes.
Let's not talk about last episode, because I'm still a little angry about it.
Let's talk about last biology, though.
Okay.
What can you remember from that?
All right,
how do you feel about it?
Let me flick back through my notes. What have I written down? Oh, God, it's not good. I've written down magnification, microscopy, Hadaway, joy division, dolphin microscopes.
When did we talk about joy division?
I don't know. Then there's a picture of what I think is a sperm with a fish kissing it. I'll put that on the Instagram. And it says 23 pairs of chromosomes.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh, no, then turn the page and we're back onto chemistry. So, wait a minute. Wait, was this all just episode... MG1, SG2?
Yeah, that's biology. Yeah, that's biology.
Great. Then that's so... cell specialisation. Is that what we were doing?
Yes.
Great. Remember it all.
Okay. So, yeah, last time we talked about how different cells can be and the different ways that they can be different. They could have different organelles.
Oh, yeah, sperms have got, like, acidy mouths.
Exactly, yeah, different organelles. They can be
tails.
different shapes because, essentially, they're, like, tiny little machines that have a function to do.
What are organelles?
Organelles are like the little organs inside the cell. Nucleus, lysosome, mitochondria, those things.
Gotcha.
So today, what we will talk about mainly, in fact entirely, is stem cells.
Stem cell research is very important.
Yeah, what do you know about stem cells? What have you heard in the press?
Leukemia?
Yikes!
Don't take a drink now, because that's all I know. That's all the information. That was a terrible time to take a drink there, Ron, because there wasn't much more information coming out of me. Stem cell transplant?
That's a thing that happens.
Great, then I know all about that.
Yeah, do you know what a stem cell is?
Nope.
So a stem cell is an undifferentiated cell. So kind of like a stem cell is almost like the textbook picture of a cell, because it has not gone through any of the specializations that would make it, say, a muscle cell or a sperm cell or a liver cell or any of these things.
So when do you have those?
In very specific times and places. Yeah, so basically they are undifferentiated cells, and then as an organism develops, they differentiate into different cells. There are different types of stem cells. So
you just said they were undifferentiated.
Yeah.
But they're different.
But they can be undifferentiated to different degrees. So, when...
Why can't they make any of this easy?
No, this will make sense to you, though. Because if you think about it, the cells that are in a little fetus, when it is just, like, starting to grow, those, at one point, you are literally one cell. And then that divides into 2, and that divides into 4, and so on and so on. Those cells are all stem cells. Those cells, out of those, 2, 4, 8, whatever cells, they need to become every single type of cell that you are now.
That's
right?
a lot of pressure, isn't it?
So that's what we call a totipotent.
No, it isn't.
Cell.
That is a stupid word.
Totipotent.
You've made that up.
No.
That's not science. Who made that word up? Oh, that was the end of a long day, wasn't it? Oh, the totipotents. Petititudents.
So those are totipotent.
Totipotent sounds like a fart you do under the duvet in the morning.
Totipotent sounds like either a Toaster London character or someone from Brass Eye.
I'm totipotent, and here's the weather.
Yeah, so that
is... totipotent? I didn't listen after you said the word totipotent.
Those are the ones that can become anything.
So the first cell I ever was totipotent.
Yes.
And then totipotent did MG1, SG2.
It did.
And
yes.
turned into 2.
Well, actually, this is a side point, but quite interestingly, it didn't do all of those things.
Oh, for the love of God.
Because eggs are huge. So the first bunch of divisions that your body does, it just divides and does the DNA synthesis. It doesn't do any of the growing. It just cuts itself up. We don't need to talk about that. And then there are different levels of what is called differentiation potential or potency. So pluripotency, multipotency, oligopotency, and then finally
the League of Potency.
Flight of the Valkyries.
Yeah, they all come flying in, and they're all potent. What does potent mean? Strong.
Strength, yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason behind that is so like I say, something in your fetus needs to become every single type of cell, but then other stem cells don't need to become every type of cell. They just need to become some types of cells. So then that's where you get your pluripotents and your multipotents and stuff. That makes sense?
No, Ron. It's gobbledygook.
No? I
just think it makes so much sense to you that you can't hear the words coming out of your mouth. I'll say back to you what you just said to me, okay? Word for word. You get a cell, and then the cell cuts itself up into 4 things. Some of those cells have got to be everything. Some of those cells have only got to be a few things. They're all pluri-omnipotent. See you tomorrow. My name's Ron.
I mean, we've literally recorded this. I'm going to be editing this episode, so I'm going to hear that that's not what I said.
And I'm going to pretty much say exactly...
You like examples. So
let's say it's a sandwich.
The fetus thing, that makes sense, right? Those cells have to become every single type of cell in the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I'll give you an example. So you, adult humans, we have...
Thank you for calling me an adult human.
You're welcome. We have stem cells in our bone marrow to make blood.
Ugh. It's a little blood laboratory just inside a bone. Hey, that's a good idea for a film, isn't it? A little blood laboratory happening in a bone cave. No? I have trouble concentrating, Ron.
Yeah, my heart says no to this film.
I had another idea today, Romeo and Juliet, but they're a Mac and a PC.
Tweets.
What do you think?
God, I think that is a hacked comedy bit from the 90s. That sounds shit.
Oh, all right, then. You hate all my ideas.
No, I hate the bad ones.
My blood cave idea is great.
All right, talk me through it. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Yeah, all right.
Because I think you're describing the plot of Osmosis Jones.
What's Osmosis Jones?
It was a cool cartoon about cells in the body.
Oh, so when it's that, it's a good idea. When it's my idea, you think it's bad.
Well, no, because that idea was a white blood cell being a police officer, and then he's got a partner who's like a antibiotic or something, and they go around and they solve crimes. What you are describing is a blood factory in a bone cave, which is quite different.
Well, if you say it in that tone, obviously it's going to sound horrible. But maybe it's a factory, right? And they all have to make blood, and then something goes wrong. Actually, maybe it's a bit dark, but that's like the person's got like
leukemia.
Yeah, and so the blood factory's trying to get back on board. Act 2, help turns up by way of whatever
poison
goes into...
and radiation.
Yeah, sexy radiation is the love interest for the workers in the blood factory in the bone cave, and then everything's fine at the end.
That sounds bleak and gross.
Yeah, there's a market for that. Hey, do you remember the numbskulls?
In the Beano?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about the numbskulls every day of my life.
Yeah, that was my favourite Beano.
Yeah, if you like numbskulls, you'd like Osmosis Jones. It was good.
Should we watch that instead of doing this learning?
No.
Okay.
We can... Well, no, we have to keep going. We've invested far too much time in this now.
Right, so totipotent is...
So totipotent, they are the ones that can turn into anything.
Yeah.
Fetus needs to become all types of cell. The cells in your bone marrow that make blood, they don't need to become every type of cell, but they might need to become a couple of different types of cell. So they are either multipotent or pluripotent or something, and they can become a couple of different types.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
And then it might be the case that because, you know, they might need to become one of 3 cells, so they can differentiate to be sort of a base for 3, and then it's easier to become those different ones.
All right.
Right. So the syllabus says that you should be able to describe the function of stem cells in embryos, adult animals, and the meristems in plants.
Oh, that was Shakespeare's 19th play. The Merry Stems in Plants.
I know so little about Shakespeare, I don't even get the joke that you're making.
The Merry Wives of Windsor. Don't worry about it.
No. So in embryos, what do you think the purpose of stem cells are?
Making babies.
Yeah, growing babies. That's basically it.
Yeah, just a load of cells looking around. Let's climb into a baby formation and masquerade as a baby. And no one will know it's us. Just a load of cells.
Singing the fucking song again. It took me days to get that out of my head.
Mum was so upset when I sang her that song. I think she thinks I've lost my mind.
Arguably, with the genesis of that song, you might have done.
Yeah, okay. What was the question? Making a baby. Their embryos have got to split up. Embryo stem cells have to be totipotent. I'm totipotent. Yeah, I live in Fulham. They have to.
For the Telegraph.
They have to split up. Yeah, my mum's the MP for South Leicestershire. Yeah.
She has terrible psoriasis as well.
Oh, God, it's life-changing. I actually ran an ultramarathon for them in February 2022. Totipotent, so they're made up of totipotents, and they've got to become all of the baby.
Yeah. So the same cell.
Do you have the potential to become all of a baby? You
Every
might be totipotent.
It has to have the ability to not only become your eye, but also your asshole.
Yeah.
It has to be able to do everything.
It's got to be able.
In adult humans,
Yes.
you and me included, we also have stem cells.
Yeah, we do. In our bone marrow.
These are known as somatic stem cells. And they're actually found
Somatic.
in most tissues. Now,
Because
you're about to be funny about it. Yeah. But there's a hierarchy of kind of how bodies are made. So you have
Tits
cells.
first, ears last.
Yeah, you do hate ears, don't you?
Yeah, I think ears are really weird and messed up. There's no way this is the best shape.
But you got cells, right? And then cells make tissues, tissues make organs, organs make bodies, roughly, okay?
Ron, you can't just say stuff like that quickly when I'm still writing down about tissues.
Okay.
What's happening?
So, lots of cells will make a tissue.
Cells equal tissue. Yeah.
So like muscle tissue, fat tissue, something like that. And then lots of tissues will make an organ.
Tissues times loads equals an organ, not an organelle, because we're big.
We are big. And then lots of organs make a body.
Times loads equals Laura.
Exactly. So, somatic stem cells, adult stem cells, are found in most tissues.
Okay.
They are interesting for two reasons, mainly.
Interesting times 2.
Because they can replicate themselves indefinitely.
Oh.
So what you might not know is that not all cells can just keep replicating and replicating and replicating and replicating.
They get tired, man. They deserve a break.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very interesting why that
And also,
happens,
life must just lose its meaning once you've realised that there's just loads of you now. If some other me could do all the me stuff, what's the point of me?
Exactly. So then they need to get shit canned, and then some somatic stem cells need to replace them. And then the other thing that makes them interesting is the fact that they can...
Karate chop policemen and not get arrested.
No, they can become several different types of cell. So you'll have like stem cells in your liver. There's a bunch of different types of cell that make up your liver. The stem cells will be able to differentiate into the ones that it needs to replace them. Why are you drinking like that? That was awful. The state of you.
I didn't know you were looking at me. I was playing with my tongue.
We have done the last couple of episodes without Zoom, but no,
Yeah.
Stop that.
I've realised recently that I guide things into my mouth using my tongue like a little air traffic controller.
I saw you talking about that with our sisters, and
They do it too. I go and get things with my tongue. Like as the fork's approaching my mouth, a little tongue comes out like a lizard, and then I put the fork on the end of the tongue, and then I withdraw the tongue into my mouth, and it pulls the fork with it, guides it.
no, I don't do that.
Your face as you tried, though, is a picture.
I didn't like it. I shan't be doing it again. Right, so just quickly say that back to me, because I thought that was simple and easy and nice, and I'm trying to be really nice.
Okay, so somatic stem cells are found in tissues.
In adult humans.
Yep. They're interesting for 2 reasons. They can replicate indefinitely, and... Shit, I stopped making notes to do my drinking. They are... livers? They're in your liver?
They are in your liver. You're really giving the impression of someone that is repeating words but not necessarily comprehending them.
Look, Ron, you can either have me not even repeating the words or repeating the words but not necessarily comprehending them. Which one do you want?
All right, but let's talk about it though. Okay?
Liver kids.
So cells can't replicate indefinitely.
No.
Some cells can't replicate at all.
Stupid idiots.
So you need stem cells to replace those ones when they die and they get old and they get shit.
And that's these schematic bastards.
Yeah, the somatic stem cells.
Yeah.
Okay, the meristem of a plant. I'm not even going to assume that you know what that is. Oh, you look like you're about to talk.
I didn't think that you would like what I had to say, so I thought I'd keep it in. You're welcome.
So the meristem is essentially...
Are we spelling Merry like Father Christmas?
No, MERI and then stem.
The meristem of... What was it? Existence?
No.
What was it?
Plants. Hence stem.
Yeah, but we were already talking about stem cells.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I'll give you that.
People always talk about women in STEM.
Yeah, but that's different.
Oh.
That stands for science, technology, engineering, and I think mathematics.
I'm a woman in STEM now that I'm doing this podcast.
Kind of.
Well, you're welcome, STEM, on having me on board. Do you think one day we'll be allowed to go around schools and help teach school kids?
God, I hope not. I don't want to talk to a bunch of kids. Fuck them.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, but if I say that, then I won't be invited.
That's true. And then I'll have to go on my own and these kids will get stupider.
Anyway, so...
The meristem of the plant.
Yeah, so the meristem is essentially small groups of stem cells that exist at the tips of growing plants.
Like that, so that's like a rose bud. That's a new stem, is it? And like, you know when a rose has the little boop boop, and then you prune it just above that, and then it forces the growth to come out of that.
Exactly, yeah. So in that new little bit of growth, there will be the meristem, which is groups of stem cells. Now, why do you think the tip of a new growing bud or something would need stem cells?
Because quite often with plants, especially ones that have like branches and stuff, they'll spring off there and then that might become like a whole new feeder branch that will have to have leaves and flowers and all sorts on it.
Exactly, yeah. So essentially the tip of a bud or the tip of a new like stick or whatever you call it when it's actually on the plant, that needs to have the capability to become all of the different types of cell.
Yeah.
Of a plant. So yeah, and that's what a meristem is, and then that's why cutting those off will do different things to plants.
So is that why if my arm gets chopped off, I can't grow a new arm because I don't have a meristem in my shoulder?
Essentially, yeah, kinda.
But like your liver can repair itself a bit because it's got
stem cells.
Somatic stem cells.
Yes. Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
All right.
Cool beans. So, the next thing that it wants to talk about
So we don't know how to make a stem cell go in a certain direction. Otherwise, we could grow a finger.
No, we know how to do that.
Why don't we do that more then? Grow people legs and stuff.
Have you never seen like they grew an ear on the back of a rat?
Ugh. I don't
Have
like
you
ears
never
or
seen
rats.
that? Hang on, I'm going to get you.
No, thank you. I don't like ears or rats. Imagine having a backpack in the shape of an ear. Horrible.
Oh, there's so many of them. I'll send you this one because
don't send me anything.
It looks a bit more Shrekish.
I don't want it, Ron. Please don't. Why don't we grow people legs and stuff then?
Because they are hard to grow. Legs are a lot more complicated than just kind of growing the outside of an ear. And then I just think we don't really have the technology to grow a whole leg.
Ah! You didn't tell me the rat was hairless. Oh, Ron, that's disgusting. That poor rat.
Yeah.
Oh. Now I don't even believe everybody's ears are non-cruelty to animals.
But I do think that lab-grown organs are becoming a thing.
I hope they don't involve rats anymore.
I don't know. I shan't research it now. But yeah, no, it's becoming a thing. Not necessarily with legs, but hearts grown in tubes and livers in boxes and stuff. That might become the norm of the future. The next thing that it wants us to go on to is treatments with stem cells. So the two that it wants to go into are how you can use stem cells to treat diabetes and how you can use stem cells to treat paralysis.
Ooh.
I mean, it does. That is literally what it says in the syllabus. So we don't need to go too far into it. But essentially, with diabetes, type 1 diabetes is the one that they're targeting with this that I was researching.
Is type 1 the one you're born with or the one you get?
Yeah, type 1 is the one that you're born with. I think all the time, and it happens because you have problems with the insulin-producing islets in the pancreas.
Yes, okay.
So essentially, what I believe they do is they use stem cells to differentiate into other insulin-producing cells, and then your body will just produce its own insulin. They have not yet gotten to the point where they have cured it, but apparently there have been documented cases where patients have gone years without needing injections. Whereas I think you actually have to inject yourself several times a day, I think, if you don't receive this stuff. So that seems pretty dope.
So they're using the stem cells to make new islets?
Yeah, maybe not new islets necessarily, but yeah, definitely insulin-producing cells.
Okay.
And then with paralysis, is because nerve cells don't replicate themselves. So they can use stem cells to fix gaps. You know, if you're paralyzed, it's often because there's a disconnect between, you know, your spinal cord and your brain or something like that. And then they can use, well, they're looking into using stem cells to bridge those gaps and fix these problems.
All right, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. So now we go on to cloning.
Yeah, let's clone ourselves.
So, it wants us to talk about cloning. It says, in therapeutic cloning, an embryo is produced with the same genes as the patient.
Is this like where you breed a sister in case your eldest son goes wrong and you don't have an heir to the monarchy?
What?
Like, you know, an heir and a spare. You know, I'll have this one in case we need parts of it to make a new one better.
No, that's just banging.
Okay.
I don't think they usually clone anyone.
Has anyone ever been cloned?
Not publicly.
Ooh, but probably privately. Tom Cruise.
This is just like where my tinfoil hat comes out a bit, because like the crazy shit that goes on around the world, and like we cloned the first mammal was cloned in the 90s, Dolly the sheep.
I remember.
Yeah. And I just don't believe that no government, like, you know, the sneaky shit that the US gets up to, and then or any of these world powers, I just don't believe that no one's done it.
Tune in next week for more conspiracies with Ron.
Oh, I love conspiracies.
But didn't Dolly the sheep only live for like 13 days?
No, I don't think so. I think lived a full sheepy life.
How long does a sheep live? Like 14 days?
Yeah.
What's an average sheep? How old can a sheep get?
Yeah, Dolly the sheep lived... Oh, Dolly the sheep died on Valentine's Day, 2003.
Ah.
She was 7.
Is that good for a sheep?
Let's have a look. Domestic sheep, Finn-Dorset. What is the average... How long does a Finn-Dorset sheep live? 11 to 12.
Okay, so a bit too young.
Yeah,
how does cloning work? Does she just turn up as a grown-up, or was she just come out as a baby and then grew up?
Yeah, so cloning in the sense that we know it in reality at the moment is not like you put some gunk in a box and then it comes out fully formed. So what happened with Dolly the sheep was they took the egg of a sheep and then they took the nucleus of a cell of a different sheep. They took it from the breast tissue, which is why Dolly the sheep's called Dolly, because tits. And then they put that nucleus into the egg cell and then implanted that egg into another sheep. So it is a clone in the sense that all of its DNA is identical to the sheep that they took the breast tissue from. Yeah, but it's not like, you know, they didn't...
So the egg was already fertilised?
I'm not sure if it... Yeah, I think it had been fertilised and then they just swapped out the nucleus, but that's all just me talking about it off the top of my head.
Okay.
But yeah, so then it was born, like born a lamb and grew up. We don't have the technology to clone two people and have them look exactly the same and stood next to each
if you
other.
were a billionaire, would you want a little cloned baby you to look after? I don't think I would.
But not billionaires, but like, you know, like, don't you think that some government might have like started like cloning people trying to make them stronger or something?
Yeah,
or
like
just
cloning prisoners just to do the experiments.
Maybe, yeah. Or, you know, if they had like some really... You know, because a lot of people might have been cloned and not even know.
I bet I have been. Everybody would want a me. I'd be like the new Tamagotchi.
What went wrong? How can we fix it? Let's try again.
How can we make this one, but it needs less attention?
They don't really give much information in the cloning stuff in the syllabus.
It'd be useful to clone yourself if your paralysis was more like a sleep paralysis demon, you know, because you could clone yourself and have two of you in the bed, and then when it climbed on your chest, you'd be like, ha ha ha, you idiots, not even me. It's Leonard, my clone.
It's baby me.
You can sit on that baby all night. I don't care at all.
It wants you to... Baby Leonard the clone. It wants you to know that the use of stem cells has potential risks such as transfer of viral infection and that some people have ethical or religious objections.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Some people have ethical objections to Percy pigs, though, so...
Well, that's like one of the thing that gets bandied around by pro-life trash heaps a lot, is that they're using the aborted fetuses to harvest stem cells. But let's not give too much light to these things. Religious objections. Yeah, some people have religious objections to a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Like my entire life. Don't you, Mum? Love you. Bye.
She was not going to listen to this.
No.
Stem cells from meristems and plants can be used to produce clones of plants very quickly and economically. This means that rare species of plants can be cloned and protect them from extinction.
Like bananas.
Yes.
Bananas are all clones.
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Or they come from a single cloned one.
They can't. Yeah. There's certainly not a lot of genetic, but I mean, we're just parroting stuff that the complete guys talked about. But yeah, they're always talking about how there's going to be a new banana plague. Where is it? Where the bloody hell is it?
Do you hate bananas?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to bang on about it so much, then, like, where is it?
Banana plague. By the way, I asked on Twitter about the whole chili with banana and lemon juice thing, and it seems like it was a thing for some families, and it repulsed and upset quite a lot of people. If Mum and Dad get interviewed by anybody from like Child Protective Services, it's because they're worried about us in retrospect.
A mate of mine at university told everyone that his parents met when they were the bananas in pajamas, and they met on set and fell in love. And he used to tell people, he was like, why do you think I've got a picture of the bananas in pajamas on the mantelpiece at home? Which is all a house we'd all been to, but no one ever really clocked that picture did not exist.
That's such a weird thing to just... What a legend.
So yeah, rare species can get cloned and protected from extinction, or crop plants with special features such as disease resistance can be cloned to produce large numbers of identical plants for farmers.
And with plants, like, you can do like cuttings, you can grow from cuttings, which is kind of just...
That is a form of cloning,
Sort of cloning, isn't it?
Kinda, yeah. Plants won't grow up to be horrified that they're actually a clone of Putin or something. So.
Yeah.
Like, do you reckon when Putin went on their way out, they cloned him?
No, I don't think he's, like, organised enough at the moment. I think he's a mess.
Maybe, but that's kind of why I think, like, a lot of these, like the leadership in North Korea, like.
Oh, he might have done it.
Yeah,
but he's still got a strong grip, though, because, like, I think the problem with Putin is that his inner circle is super loyal, but everything else around him is starting to crumble.
Because isn't it true that the Kims in North Korea, they're still pretending that all of them are still alive, that since the 50s?
Really?
I think that's true. I think they technically, they're all the leader because they have not admitted that the Kim Jong-un and the ones that are dead, are dead.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I think that's true. I'll cut this out if it's not. So maybe just clones.
Clones.
Hey, this is Ron doing the editing. I can't find anything to back this up, to be honest. So if anyone knows what fact I'm half remembering, let me know. Let me know on Twitter, because I'm certain I heard it somewhere, but can't back it up. Can't say anything that says that it's not true, but
Grand. All right, well. Oh, the thing is, though, I always get to this point in the episode and I think, that felt right. And then next thing I know, we're quizzing it and I'm like, Jesus, what have I written down here?
At least it's biology, though.
I made no notes on the cloning section.
Yeah, me neither. You might have noticed I was reading from the syllabus.
All right, let's give it a week and we'll be back in seconds of your listening ear time for the quiz. Okay, we are approximately 1 week later in our world, but mere seconds later for you. We're back. Ron has got a test for me and for you, the listener. It'll be on cells, and that is about all I can remember.
Yeah, I was going to say, because when we did the sound test a second ago, it did not seem like you knew what we were going to be talking about.
And I'm annoyed, to be honest, because I feel really sprightly today. I feel really ready to learn and crack on, but I just can't remember about what.
So stem cells last week.
Shit, doesn't even ring a bell.
Shit.
Peace. Oh, and I remember it going well. All right, well, let's get into the questions and see what pings out.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, question 1. I think... 1, 2, 3, 4...
I love how much of this episode, this podcast, is me editing out you counting things. Just...
6 points, I believe.
6 points for question 1.
No, for the whole quiz.
Oh, okay.
They're more long-form answers.
Oh, no. This is where I say what I
definitions.
think the answer is, and then you sit there in silence and just raise your eyebrows at me, waiting for me to say more.
Potentially, yes. Laura, for 1 point, what is a cell's differentiation potential?
What? Is it what it says on the tin? Like, it's its potential to do different stuff?
Pull that thread, define different stuff.
So, I remember that, like, your liver could be anything, but your skin can only be skin? And stuff like that, like the cells. Like, some cells can only be one thing, but then, like, on a plant nub, that cell can be everything. So it could go on to be loads of different types of cells. Is that it?
I'll give you that. Yeah. So it's
grudgingly.
It's the number of different cells that a stem cell can differentiate into. So some will be totipotent. You'll remember that
I remember that word.
one. Some will be totipotent, so they'll be able to differentiate into anything. Others will be multipotent. There'll be a few, and then others will be, they'll only be able to turn into one type of cell, say.
Yeah.
So following up on that, where can you find stem cells in adult humans?
Bone marrow. In the blood cave.
In the blood cave.
Yeah, in the bone marrow. I remember that. That happens in the bone marrow, in the blood laboratory, in the bone cave. Is that not right? Oh no! Why are you being silent? I was so confident. Oh shit!
I'll give you half a point for that.
Is that not right?
Stem cells can be found in most tissues. So they are found in the bone marrow, and it is one of the examples we talked about. But they are found basically all over your body.
Okay.
So yeah, you can have half a point for that. Are the
Is that gnocchi just squeaking?
Yeah, and let me let her in so she can hang out.
Gnocchi is Ron's cat. She loud. Hi, nosy puss.
You can come be part of the podcast.
Hey, Gnocchi.
Yes, for anyone that didn't know Gnocchi was my cat, that would have sounded a lot like if you just asked if I had some whistling pasta in the next room.
You know, your squeaking potato dumplings.
Okay, the next one. Are the cells in the meristem totipotent or unipotent?
Now, I think the meristem is that little nub on a plant, and they are totipotent.
They are totipotent.
I've been thinking about this all week, Ron, because when the builders were here fixing my back garden, one of my roses got broken, right? And some of it came off like a stick, but it had quite a lot of root ball attached to it. So I thought, I might plant this and just, I don't know, let's have a look. And then for ages, it just looked like a dead stick, but it did have some little nubs on it. And now it's all flowering and branching off those nubs like it was still alive. And I've been thinking about how they had the whole of a rose bush just in those tiny nubs. Totipotent. Okay, and then last question for 2 points is actually only 5 points. I miscounted because you started talking about me counting. Reasons that we mentioned last time, i.e. in the syllabus. Why is cloning of interest for plants? Bananas? Plant disease, you can like replicate them to help with blights and diseases.
How?
What do you mean how? I don't know.
The more fuel for the fire?
What do you mean? What?
So there's a plague affecting the plants.
Yeah.
How does cloning the plants help?
I don't know, like when they've all died, you just clone them from a bit of banana you found stuck in your teeth.
Okay, I'll give you that. One of the uses is to bring back like rare plants or extinct plants.
Yep, cool. Well done, me. And another reason for cloning a plant might be, let's say you got a really good plant that wins loads of awards and you just want more of them.
Yeah, 2 points.
What? What?
Yeah. The other one is a plant has a desirable trait, so then you clone it and then you have more of that plant.
Oh my god, yes! Oh, sometimes science just is saying the stupidest thing that pops into your head. Brilliant. Well done, me.
Well, that's what selective breeding is. That's how we have most of the plants and animals that we use.
By cloning? I thought it was by just making them bang other good plants.
Well, yeah, but like, well, no, with plants though, like if you take a cutting or something, that's cloning.
Yeah, but like shit cloning, isn't it?
Well, it's just old school cloning. Pretty cool if you ask me.
True. That's true. Well, was that 4.5 out of 5? Is that my best score on a quiz yet? I think it might be.
Yes, it was a generous 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, piss off. I did really well there. Well done, me. Cool. 4.5 out of 5, Ron. I think I was right to be pleased with myself there.
Yes. You did very well.
Oh, come on, sound happy for me.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention when you started recording.
Aha! Well, I was garbage in the intro. We were both brilliant throughout the show, and now you are garbage in the outro. I like it.
Yeah, well, biology remains. I think your strongest subject. It would be interesting to see the scores collated by subject to see how that's done.
Yeah, if anybody wants to be in charge of keeping note of the scores, and we can add your scores in. If you want to play along, let us know what scores you've had. Should we start a Discord? Would a Discord be welcomed? Let us know if you'd like a Discord for Science Chat.
Audience scores and then compare them to yours.
Audience versus Laura. So yeah, let us know that. We're also welcoming Dolly the Sheep Facts this week. So please let us know if you've got any cool facts about cloning. And what is Ron on about concerning North Korean rulers? Maybe you could clarify that for all of us.
Definitely a thing. There is a thing.
I really loved it when you said there's nothing on the internet that says it's not true. Like there's one website that's just like, here are all the rumours that aren't true. So if you know, maybe you are part of the North Korean royal family. Hey, reach out. Sound off in the comments.
Are all of your dead relatives actually alive?
The complete guide that we mentioned in this episode is the podcast, The Complete Guide to Everything, which is our favourite podcast. So give it a listen. We love it so much. And if you like this, there's no way you won't like that because it's brilliant and amazing. It's not much better, Ron. Don't down dog our podcast.
Stop saying down again. I'm having Vietnam flashbacks.
Stop it, Ron. Stop it. Don't down our podcast. I hate that episode so much. When I listen back to that one now, I'm like, oh. It's like Tom said to me the other day, he was like, how much do you put it on? Because he's like, you're not stupid. And I'm like, I don't want to have this conversation with you. Go away. It's such a combination of not being able to concentrate, not caring, and not understanding it. Horrible. So there we go. Thank you so much for coming back and listening again. Ron, should we sing the Mackie as a baby song as an exit?
Right. I love making this podcast, but to be honest, I've got very little skin in the game. Whereas I think singing that song to the public might legitimately end your career because the men in white coats will be sent to your house. It's mental.
Okay, we won't sing the Mackie as a baby song then.
It's also one of the most horrific earworms you'll ever know in your life. Once you start singing it, you can't stop. Every now and again, Judith and I would just be sat on the sofa and one of us will go, oh no, I started singing the song in my head. And then we have to not talk to each other for a while, lest it spread. And that's 100% true.
Okay, so no Mackie is a baby song. But please do take a moment to give us a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It really makes a difference to how many people we can reach. And we're very grateful for all your love. Every time you share the episodes, we're really watching the numbers grow this end, which is so fantastic. And that is down to you guys, like sharing and engaging with us when we like talk and spread videos and stuff. So thank you so much.
We've had some people make us some stuff. If more people want to make us stuff, we're not going to say no. That gets the word out just as well.
Oh, Ron likes toys.
I like tribute.
Amazing. Well, we love you very, very much, and we will see you next week when we are back to chemistry again.
Goodbye. Class dismissed.
No, Ron, why are you backing out on having a catchphrase?
Because I bailed on the catchphrase in like episode number 3.
Nuh-uh, the catchphrase has been in every episode.
Yes, under
do
duress.
it.
Class dismissed.
No, do it in your class dismissed voice.
Class dismissed.
You can't start a catchphrase and then get shy about having a
I can
catchphrase.
and I will.
Especially not when you're asking for tribute.
More tribute, less catchphrases.
I'll clip it out of previous episodes where you've done it properly.
Class dismissed.